Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm so glad you're here on this Friday morning. Got a great show lined up. Special guests here. Famous Friday fishing forecast, giveaway from Tarpon Dock, and all kind of good news for the outdoors here in the Florida Panhandle. With that being said, the good news, we're going to start with the weather, which is not so good. We have a 100% chance of rain today. It's going to be blowing. It's going to be one of those days. I know a lot of folks off work today, but we're going to have to find something else to do other than go outdoors, looks like. High today be 66. Low tonight 55. There's only 11 degrees swing in there, so there's not going to be a lot of temperature change. The water temperature remains at 70 degrees. Take a look at our river readings. We've talked about that. It's just been up, up, up. High Plateau is staying around 16.5, and it's dropped out a little bit last night, and it got a little bit. It's going to stay, on through Friday and Saturday, and it's not going to be much of a movement there, but it's just going to be a lot of high water all along the Apalachicola River system, Howards Creek, and especially the lower end down there. Choctaw Careville has just been a consistent, very, very slow drop, but I'm expecting it to go up a little bit after this rain we have. But right now it's reading 11.3, and if it stays like that, we'll be okay on into the weekend. But again, it will be high too. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Looking at on your screen there, the high tide is at 12:17 p.m. and the low tide 11:07 a.m. We have some really good strong tides today and tomorrow. You're looking at about a 1.8 foot movement right there. But now this wind, our marine forecast, this wind will be coming out of northeast at 15 to 25. So that will affect the tides, especially when it's on the opposite end of the wind. Okay. Now let's go ahead and do our fish and game forecast on this segment here, brought to us by Mark Cowart, Edgewater Beach Realty. His number is 832-6000. Give Mark a call on any real estate needs. We're looking at our time was this morning at 3:17 to 5:17. But this afternoon, if we do get a break in the weather, and we might, 3:45 to 5:45 would be a good time right there. 3:45 to 5:45. All right. That takes care of all that. Remember, it's going to be blowing and wet, so be careful on the roads. And if you do get a chance to get outside, though, be careful there, too. All right, take a break and be right back with our guest. Welcome back, and welcome to a familiar face here on Panhandle Outdoor, Brad Stevens.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
I called you a familiar face now, so.
Man, that must mean I'm around too much.
Well, we thought, I think he's a veteran here. We looked over here, didn't have his microphone on. We just had to put it on, so.
Yeah, that's why it's a little crooked this morning, but that's all right.
All right, buddy, what's been going on?
Man, just living one day at a time. It's shop steady. We're doing good. Got a wonderful crew out there. Training 2 crews out there at one time. So if you walk in, it's like, man, there's a lot of people sitting around doing nothing. You're right. There are a lot of people sitting around doing nothing. We got both crews. The crew that's going to run our St. Andrews location, which we keep pushing that open date back. We keep getting in there and getting another idea. So we're still ripping stuff out. We just keep taking it one step further than we think we're done. So we'll do kind of a final clean on everything, and then we're like, it'd be good if we did this. And then we start ripping stuff out again, which means you got to do. I've done a final clean twice now.
Okay.
So, and I still have one more final clean, but we made a decision first part of the week just to rip everything existing in there. If it won't make the ceiling fall, it comes out.
Okay.
So
we still, I know you got all kind of neat ideas. We've been sharing them with all, but we're still looking at a date sometime maybe around May or June.
Yeah, hopefully the first part of June will be open, unless I get another crazy idea. But first part of June we should be in there. It won't be a full stock store, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
We'll have our meat and potatoes in there for you, and then next spring we'll add all the fluff to it, if you will.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. And the kayak folks, they're all doing well. The Kayak Association?
Yep, the Kayak Association's growing. We're adding new people to it all the time. In fact, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., they'll be trolling for Spanish mackerel at the Panama City Marina at the end of Harrison Avenue. And don't go to the boat ramp, which I guess is on the east side of the marina. On the west side of the marina, where they're doing all that construction, kind of off of Beach Drive, I guess that's the road right there. There's actually a Panhandle City kayak launch there. We'll be at the kayak launch. I say we. I may or may not be there, depending on the work schedule. Somebody will be there at 7 a.m. If you get there a little late, don't worry. Just launch out there and go troll for some Spanish. Then we'll all meet back at the marina there at 11. We hope the Spanish showed up. Talked with Stan Jones there, the marina director at Panama City Marina yesterday, and been very few Spanish caught off the marina.
Yeah.
Early, when it came, they were catching some, and there's still some out there. If you go out there and fish long enough, you're going to catch one. But fishing's just not overly productive at the marina right now. So we're going to change that Saturday morning.
That's interesting because the Spanish have been really sort of moved around. We'll talk about later in the fishing report. And they haven't got over there to Beach Drive area yet. It's just been fascinating watching it.
Yep. So come see us tomorrow morning.
So anybody can get out there and go launch down there by where the old Elk Club used to be?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And just paddle out there. Stay away from people casting. You won't get far enough out there. But if it was me, I'd run down Beach Drive some too, and then come back around.
Yeah, go around those channel markers, and there's probably a grouper or something laid up on one of them.
Yeah, especially that wind stays out of northeast, and that'd be
absolutely
really good.
Absolutely. So that's doing good, and if you don't have a kayak, to go tomorrow morning, you can always swing by the shop. We have gaggles of them, as old Hank Rutherford used to say when he was working with us. The Hobie kayaks are by far the best for trolling because you're hands-free.
Yeah.
The average pace you walk, you put that effort in the pedal, and you're 3.5, 4 miles an hour, totally hands-free, not using a rudder. Not using a paddle. You just got a little rudder to steer. You can either hold the rod in your hand, which I find is the most effective way to catch these Spanish. And then it gets you in a good habit for trolling for kings, which we'll start doing here in the next couple weeks. Which you just literally a spinning reel, flip the bail open, hold your finger on the line. When you feel the bump, let go for just a second. Let that fish turn, come back, finish eating, and then off it goes. And then you can flip your bail and fight the fish.
Oh, now what are most of your folks going to be trolling with? Spoons or trees, or what do you think they'll use on a kayak?
That's a really good question. It's kind of different every time you get out there. They'll be trolling, Clark spoon, Silly Willy spoon I like a little bit better. It's a little smaller profile. It makes a little better flash. A lot of spoons will be trolled. There'll be people trolling Miradynes.
Yeah.
A Miradyne's a great Spanish mackerel bait. If the bite's tough, that Miradyne will pay for itself. You're going to lose a few, and it hurts to lose a $7 or $8 lure. But if the bite's tough, I'd rather lose a couple $8 lures than catch nothing at all. But if it's thick, anything with a little bit of flash on it, and you're good to go.
Oh, that sounds good. Look, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and get ready to draw for our winner. So we'll be right back. Now, welcome back. It's here Brad Stevens, Sunjammers on Highway 79, soon to be in St. Andrew. Don't forget, now it's the last weekend of turkey season. I've seen a couple of nice pictures this week, so guys are still getting out there and taking them. So tomorrow morning should be a really beautiful morning to close out the turkey season in 2014. Also, we're going to our tip of the day real quick. We talked about these before. I brought mine in here, these little snips to pull out. I got them from Brad, and this is our tip. If you don't have these, you need them. Y'all still got some, right?
We do have the boomerang braid snips. They cut braid like butter. Everybody has a hard time cutting braid. It's so abrasion resistance, which is a wonderful thing when you're fishing. It's horrible when you're trying to cut it with a dull pair of fingernail clippers or an old bait knife that's half rusty. Boomerang snips are designed to cut one thing and one thing only, and that's braid.
Okay.
It'll cut mono too, but it's literally, they were designed to cut braid without fraying it.
They're good. Okay, and I don't go fishing without them. Yeti coolers. What about them?
We got them, and you need them. It's it's pretty much as simple as that. What you got next?
Well, listen, I was saying, I got Father's Day coming up soon. Maybe Gail will give me a Yeti cooler for Father's Day. Then you say, well, it's Mother's Day, so maybe I'll get her one for Mother's Day. That's not a bad one.
Nothing says I love you like a Yeti cooler.
Yeah.
Women are tired of getting little things in boxes. I mean, the little box, it's played out. You've been given the little box for how many years, and it's worked out good for you. But moms are wanting something a little bit bigger this year. A Yeti cooler, a paddleboard, a Hobie kayak. I mean, think outside of the little box this year, and I think your wife and your wife and mother will appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, I learned this the hard way. If you're married and you have kids, Mother's Day, you must buy your wife something.
Yes.
You can't. I thought you ain't my mama. Yeah, she's your mama.
Yeah, she is. That's true.
But Yeti coolers. All joking aside, we have as of now we have every color, every size in stock, from the Rhodey 20, the blue, tan, and white. I forgot the most popular. Blue, tan, and white, all the way up to 250 quart. Now the bigger ones are only in white or tan. You know, they don't have the blue past 65, I believe. And we also have the Yeti tub, which is the big round tanks. You know, but come out to the shop, Highway 79. We have Yeti coolers. If you don't want to drive out to the shop, you can go to sunjammers.com. There's going to be a Yeti cooler scroll across. Click on it. You can buy it online. It's free shipping. We'll either drive it to you or mail it to you, whatever works out best. So if you're watching in Callaway, Dothan, it don't matter where you are, Carabel, if you need a Yeti cooler, we'll ship it to you free of charge. There's no need to drive to the shop.
Wow.
We mail Yeti coolers to Callaway all the time.
Wow.
There's just, you know, you're sitting at the computer, you're just sitting there, you're bored at work, order a Yeti cooler. If we see your local, if we don't have it, so you know, you wouldn't have it in the 2 days it takes to process through everything, we're going to call you and say, hey, this color is drop shipping. It's going to be another 3 or 4 days.
Okay. And they're, you know, we can't say enough about Yeti coolers. They're so well built. And all.
Look at that. I'm wearing a Yeti cooler shirt today. I wasn't even planning on that.
I hadn't noticed that. Okay. Now, what else we got going on out there?
We have cobia jigs. Buy one, get one half off.
Cool.
So this time of year, you know, it's the wrong time of year to be discounting cobia jigs, but there's a lot of people wanting to get into it. Nobody wants to take just one jig to the pier on the boat with them. You really need 5 or 6, just so you look cool. But we're going to do a buy one, get one half off. This is a Panhandle Outdoor exclusive. We will put a sign up on this one, but y'all are the first to hear about it. So, you know, come early. We open at 7 o'clock. Come in and see us, and tell Uncle Al good morning. He loves coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and bring him a cobia jig.
And a donut.
Or come get a cobia jig.
Okay.
And then we still have our Trigger X, which is basically Gulp on steroids, if you will. Buy one, get 2 bags free. I believe it's a 160-quart Yeti cooler right up front, just slam full. If you don't see what you want on top, just dig. I mean, it's just a rummage cooler right now with a lot of Trigger X baits in there.
They're strong. I've heard some good things on those.
They are. You know, the problem with Gulp is when the pinfish come up, it's not a big issue now. When the bait really gets on the flats, those pinfish will come up and they'll pop your tail off your shrimp or whatever. The Gulp are very, very soft baits. And they do that by design, so you have to buy more. Well, Trigger X came out with a tougher bait. Not only has quite a good action, but the stink is just as good, and they're going to last significantly longer. Yeah. And with this, a buy one, get 2 free, we didn't jack the price up. I believe they're the normal $6.99 price, so you pay $6.99, you're going to leave with 3 baits. That's a good deal. $2 and something a bait, maybe?
I'm going to come get some of those. Those little crabs and all, those are ideal.
We should have a few crabs. Okay. I don't know what we have left. I don't look in the bin, but just the longer you wait. Now, we may put them on sale or mark them down a little bit more at some point, but your selection's getting progressively worse, I guess I should say.
That may be something to do today while it's raining outside, to go buy some more tackle.
I wrote that right up top, and I forgot about it. You said it's raining today, we can't go fishing, we got to find something else to do. Go to your local tackle shops today, and just look around and spend some time in there. You know, everybody goes to a tackle shop, they're in, get their bait, and they're right back out. Well, if it's raining today and you want something to do, go spend 45 minutes or an hour in a tackle shop, literally just walking around, just looking at everything.
Yep. That sounds good. Okay, you got all your stuff covered?
I think so. I don't have anything else other than my fishing report, but you got to wait for that.
Yeah, we're going to do that in a second. We're going to add these names. Call out these names, add these names, then we're going to do our drawing for Tarpon Dock.
These names, I have a Heather Taylor.
Okay.
A Chad Taylor. I think they're related.
They're husband and wife.
And a Jim Mayberry.
All right. Very good. Those are the names we've added. I want to show you again, all these folks here have won something in 2014 off Panhandle Outdoors. That's not bad, is it?
2014's barely into it.
I know it, but we give away a lot of stuff. We keep telling them. So after June 1st, now June 1st comes in, I'm going to put all y'all back in so you have 2 chances to win. So now this is Tarpon Dock Seafood. The first one we're going to give away will be the $20 gift certificate. Okay? Now, Brad, I'm going to let you draw it out. All right.
And we have Mark Bell from Bonifay.
Mark, I know Mark fishes a lot off the pier over there.
That's the
$20. Yeah. And Mark fishes a lot off the pier. He's in the sun. They come down from Bonifay. In fact, I think they stopped by your store or something and buy some stuff. They told me that before.
All right. Mark, don't forget our cobia jig sale now.
That's true. All right, now, let's go a red snapper, big red snapper.
Well, one of these for one of them endangered red snappers.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of these out there, folks, so. All right.
I got Paul. I can't read your right.
Balmer from Alpha. Paul Balmer, B-A-U-M-E-R. Paul Balmer from Alpha. Okay. All right, that's our 2 winners run by Tarpon Rock Seafood. Now, we're going to take a break. We're going to get set up now for our famous Friday fishing forecast. Got a lot of good news on the fishing forecast, so take a final break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Rock Seafood, and it has been a good weekend coming up in about Wednesday. We've had our cold snap. We caught a lot of nice fish, and we'll start, like I say, in Carabel. We'll talk to Captain Kim down at Sea Quarters. Her report, big thing down there is grouper. You know, they can catch grouper down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen pictures. My buddy Tony Bass and Wendy Colson from Valdosta, they sent me the last 2 weekends. They've been down there catching some nice grouper, driving all the way down to Valdosta, doing some good fishing for grouper down there. But also, she said off of St. George Island State Park, they've had good catches of pompano from the surf. So, you know, a lot of stuff happening down there. Go to Port St. Joe Bay. It's still been slow. Water temperature, St. Joe Bay just hadn't kicked off yet.
Just not. I've been hearing that. Just almost, you know.
Right on every week, I'm saying, right on the verge of it. But maybe it might be coming in next week. But now Marcus Parrish, he did go down to he's one of our viewers. Marcus is a really good fisherman. He likes to surf fish a lot, and went down to stump hole. He took his brother, sister-in-law. They all limited out on pompanos. The surf fishing has been really good along Cape San Blas. Also, the bay. But the bay's been a little bit slow. The canal's been okay, all right? Now, let's go on to Crooked Island Sound's been really good. But Mexico Beach, let me read Mexico Beach. Mitch Coleman, really good every week about sending in a report from Mexico Beach. He runs Florida Days Adventures. You get a chance to fish with him. They're leading the Lingding tournament down there.
Really?
They're both leading. They've got several in there. One at 31 pounds. Theirs is like 69 pounds in first, 60 pound .9. And this Sunday, the team Florida Days caught a 44-pounder, and so things have really heated up. So this is the last weekend of the tournament. So get a chance to go down there and watch the weigh-in. It'll be Saturday afternoon, the final weigh-in. So, but the Spanish are good around the buoy lines out there, and also right at the mouth of St. Joe Bay. All right, now let's get up here in this area here. St. Andrew Bay system has been pretty good.
They've been catching a lot of really big speckled trout. Speckled trout's hitting top water. It really doesn't matter where you are. I know the fish are out of the creeks. They're on the flats. They're still kind of towards the mouth of the creeks. And, you know, and this time we're talking about your bigger creeks. Here in a month we'll be talking about your smaller tidal, the small creeks, estuaries. But, you know, this speckled trout on top water has been blowing my mind with just the sheer number of people catching them consistently. You know, Spanish are spotty in the bay. Nothing great. A few grouper being caught here and there in the bay, nothing to write home about. A lot of people don't know, you know, but our grouper fishery in the bay is not too shabby. There's an art to it, and it's like a secret society. So once you figure it out, once you've joined that society, you kind of keep your mouth shut. But there are quite a few grouper being caught in the bays. Then up in West Bay, you know, speckled trout, redfish on the flats, you know, pretty much just like always. Same story in our bays. Everybody keeps asking, this last few days of cold, is that going to push the fish back in the creeks? It didn't stay cold enough long enough to affect the fish. It's just pretty much as simple as that.
The three big words here is cobia, sheephead, and Spanish.
Absolutely.
And the cobia, I counted the pictures I've shown this week on Panhandle Outdoors, where people have sent in pictures. I've shown 35 pictures this week of what has happened the last 4 or 5 days. Been great pictures, real live pictures, and a lot of them been cobia from the piers, from the boats and all. But the sheephead bite continues. The sheephead, I'm going to go show you. I'm going to zoom in and show you where the guys are catching the sheephead. Now, a little bit different from where it was last year. Okay, here's a pass right here. Last year, the fishermen were able to get on the jetties, right on the east jetties, and catch a lot of them here. This year, some of the best fishing is right over here. There's a good structure right in here. So if you're going to fish sheephead this weekend, I would fish the west side over here, right down below the rocks here, right through in here, okay, and watch the traffic and all. And about 70 feet off those rocks right there is going to be a good spot. And also the Spanish mackerel. Brad hit on this. They're not really in the bay like they were last year. They're just not yet.
Not yet. It's keyword yet.
And in fact, we went with a couple of people. I took our boat in here. We didn't catch that many, but Walter and his kids went out and they caught a ton. They caught, in fact, 45. They caught 45 Spanish right through here. And this is where a lot of the cobia are being caught right in here, and also the pier fishing. Pier fishing, we got a report from them this week, and the pier's been doing really good. It's just steady. One guy is catching one. He's catching one. He's catching one pompano a day. He's eating pompano every night, but he's only catching one a day. But he's happy.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Bill.
Yep.
So it's steady, but you got to go. And like I said, West Bay. Brad brought up West Bay. It's in really good shape. Now the surf fishing on the west end down your way has been really good.
Very, very good, and we do have a few bags of sand fleas left.
Do you?
We found they are last year's sand fleas. They have not showed up this year, but last year's sand fleas are better than no sand fleas.
Yeah.
We probably had 20 bags left the middle part of the week when I did my last count. So we may be just about out. So even though it's raining today, come in and grab some sand fleas.
I'm gonna come out and get some of those because I'm completely out. And like I say, they haven't really come in yet. It's still a couple of weeks away, I think, before sand fleas come in. I'm glad you told me that. So overall though, it's been really good. Looking at the rest report, freshwater. I was gonna mention freshwater. The river's high. Everything's pushed back up in the sloughs and everything. But once it starts dropping out, there's gonna be, like Blair and I talked about yesterday, there's gonna be excellent freshwater fishing on both of our river systems. And you guys that's been around a long time know exactly what we're talking about. If you haven't been around, you need to experience some of this freshwater fishing.
2 years ago, we had the water was really high rolling in the springtime, and it was the best freshwater fishing in forever.
Yeah.
And it's going to repeat again this year. I know it.
And it's shaping up the same way. I'm getting excited about it. In fact, I'm looking at a new motor for my little boat, so just because of that.
Don't forget, we sell all your crickets and worms. So
you still got your crickets and worms?
We still got crickets and worms. We don't do crappie minnows or shiners anymore, but we pretty much always have them. Uncle Al's good at keeping crickets and wigglers, earthworms. We got 3 different kinds. I can't remember them.
Now you're talking about more Mother's Day presents right there. So
absolutely.
We're gonna have to wrap it up. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors this week. It's been a great week, and next week's gonna be another great week. We appreciate the viewership. Appreciate great sponsors like Brad Stevens and Sunjammer. Y'all go over there and see them and see what's going on. Brad, thank you, buddy.
Thanks for having us.
All right, you have a great day. Do something good for somebody. God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.